Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen, Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024, 6 p.m. at the Seekonk Town Hall, of course. Mass General Law, Chapter 38, subsection 20F requires any person recording must notify the chair at the beginning of the meeting. The Select Board is recording both video and audio. Anybody else? Don't want to keep it for prosperity? Really? Okay. Pledge of allegiance, moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could somebody read the board and committee openings, please?
Volunteers are needed on the following: Board of Registrars, one Board of Selectmen appointment, Capital Improvement Committee, 3 Board of Selectmen, 2 moderator, Commission on Disability, 5 and 13 Board of Selectmen, Cultural Council, 1 Board of Selectmen, Economic Development Committee, 5 Board of Selectmen, Energy Committee, 4 Board of Selectmen, Finance Committee, 1 moderator appointment, Historical Commission, 2 Board of Selectmen, Recycling Committee, 1 Board of Selectmen, Zoning Board of Appeals, 1 alternate.
Thank you. Priority matters, the presentation of the life-saving medal to Officer Christian Ortiz and Officer Scott Dumont. Chief?
Madam Chair, board members, Mr. Dean, thank you for the opportunity tonight to recognize 2 of our officers for their actions on April of this year. The officers will be presented with the department's life-saving medal. The criteria for the life-saving medal reads as follows. This award will be presented when an officer unselfishly demonstrates courage and distinguishes him or herself by performing extraordinary physical acts or rendering life-saving techniques to aid in the preservation of human life. The 2 officers that were recognized tonight are Officer Kristen Ortiz and Reserve Officer Scott Dumont. A little synopsis of the event that brings us here tonight. On April 21st this year, Officer Ortiz and Officer Dumont were on duty working the midnight to 8. At approximately 5:47, Officer Ortiz was dispatched to the Clarion Hotel for a young female experiencing a medical emergency. Upon its arrival, the reporting parties directed Officer Ortiz to a young female. Officer Ortiz found the young female not breathing and without a pulse. Officer Ortiz started CPR until Officer Dumont arrived with the automated external defibrillator, the AED. After finishing a cycle of chest compressions, Officer Ortiz and Officer Dumont used the AED in an attempt to revive the young female. Officer Ortiz went back to performing CPR while the AED analyzed the patient. After analyzing, the AED advised and delivered a shock, after which Officer Ortiz returned to doing CPR. The synopsis of the officer's action was provided to the Seekonk Police Department's award committee for review. The awards committee met and recommended that Officer Ortiz and Dumont receive accommodation in the Seekonk life-saving medal for their actions. A big factor in the committee's recommendation in part was from the Fire Department's Director of Emergency Services, who advised a member of the panel shortly after the incident that the patient was in the hospital and with promising prognosis, and that she was alive greatly in part to the actions of Officer Ortiz and Officer Dumont. The young lady in this incident is 17-year-old Sierra McLaughlin. I was contacted by her mother and received 2 letters today for Officer Ortiz and Dumont. One of the letters was composed by Sierra, the other by her parents, Scott and Rayanne. The McLaughlins live in upstate New York and wish they could have been here tonight. They were in town in April because Sierra was participating And they also, with the letters, was a picture of Ciara in her junior prom that she was able to attend past weekend. I'd like to read a small part of her letter to the officers. My life as a student, athlete, worker, and much more can continue now. I am able to go to college, play volleyball, and enjoy the company of my friends and family, all because of your actions and dedication to saving my life. Your willingness to help has made an infinite impact on my life as well as my whole community. I thank you for your heroic duty to allow me to be able to live my life and enjoy the wonders that I haven't yet experienced. I'm honored to present Officer Kristen Ortiz and Reserve Officer Scott Dumont with the Seekonk Police Department's life-saving medal for distinguished actions performed in the town of Seekonk on April 21, 2024. I would also like to recognize members of the Seekonk Communications Department for their quick actions that morning. Quickly dispatching police and fire to this incident, as well as gathering as much information to better assist officers and firefighters on the scene. I would also like to recognize members of the Seekonk Fire Department for their actions, for relieving Officer Ortiz and Dumont of their first responder duties, and their actions in providing advanced life support was just another link in Ciara's survival. The teamwork of all three departments is a testament to the dedication of our staff in providing excellent public safety services to the community.
Chief, we're not done yet. Certificate of Commendation, Town of Seekonk, Massachusetts, in recognition of Officer Scott Dumont and Officer Christian Ortiz, life-saving actions on the morning of Sunday, April 21st, 2024, wherein they responded to a medical emergency. Chief Enos asked that the officers be recognized for their commendable actions in providing medical treatment to the victim. Their quick thinking, training, and experience led them to assist us with CPR and basic life support. The actions they provided on scene were instrumental and changed the outcome of this incident. For the care, bravery, and professionalism, the Seekonk Select Board hereby recognizes and thanks Officer Dumont and Officer Ortiz for their dedication to the town of Seekonk and extends its sincere appreciation, given on the 22nd day of May, 2024, in recognition of the officers. Thank you. Recognition of outstanding work for Lieutenant Bradford, firefighter Saracen, firefighter Silva, firefighter Cronin, firefighter Olson, firefighter Pagliazzo, and firefighter English. Chief?
Good evening, Madam Chair, select board members of the committee. I come before you this evening for the same event that just described by the police chief, I'll let my Lieutenant Timothy Gilman, Director of Reinvestment, brief synopsis of the events actions transpired that evening. Well, that's really one.
Morning, Mr. Kadane, Select Board. Just to piggyback on what the chief already said, the morning of April 21st, the Communication Center received a call, possibly somebody not breathing, 17-year-old. The police officers got there very quickly, started aggressive, good CPR, applied that AED, and defibrillated that patient before we got there. Did great work by them. Our crews got there, members of our Engine 1, Rescue 1, showed up, gave 2 more defibrillations with resuscitated efforts with the police department. Did a great job. We were able to get a pulse back before leaving the hotel room. On the way to the hospital, they gave a bunch of medications, controlled seizures, got the patient breathing again. Ultimately, the patient was transferred to Hasbro Children's Hospital and then sent up to Boston Children's Hospital, the best pediatric cardiac hospital in the world. We were able to get her up to. She went home with absolutely no deficits. We found out later that in cases like this, I follow up with the hospital. She had what's called a prolonged QT syndrome and a genetic cardiac channelopathy. What this means is that she had a genetic issue that was unrecognized. 17-year-olds, most people go to the hospital when they go to the doctor when they're in their 40s to get an EKG. 17-year-olds just simply don't. The reason this patient ultimately really survived is because she had this cardiac event while sleeping next to her mom in a hotel room. So a lot of things all came together for that to happen. The cardiologists went back and they contribute this to, she had a new song on her alarm clock. And with this genetic channelopathy in her heart, strong new external stimuli such as a sound can actually make your heart stop. They go people when they're swimming and they have sudden cardiac arrest. That's kind of the thing that we're talking about. So this was a very weird, uncommon cardiac dysrhythmia. She was in what was called ventricular fibrillation when the officers and our crews found her. Without aggressive CPR and quick early defibrillation, this patient would not have survived. It is directly due to the everything that was done, the CPR, that instructions that were given over the phone, the early CPR and defibrillation, and the continued resuscitative efforts by our crews that contributed to this patient's positive outcome.
I come before you this evening to issue them a certificate of special recognition. In the fire department, we don't have an award ceremony per se out of the chief's office. We do have an award ceremony later on in December where the potential application for them is applied or actually submitted by the peers. It's then reviewed and they do get certificates of citations and awards if identified by their peers, but that's held later in December. So after having communication with Police Chief Venus, I did identify that there was exemplary actions taken by the crew that day, or that evening, or that morning, I should say. And that's why we're here for you this evening to identify them outside of that award ceremony. So if I could, I'd like to identify everybody that was there that evening or that morning, and I'll present them with their awards. And then after that, we can finish the round of applause for that. And then also, Madam Chair, you have one as well. So if I could, I'd like to present Lieutenant Matthew Bradford, certificate of special recognition. Firefighter Michael Cronin, certificate of special recognition. Firefighter Saracen as well. Michael Olson. Firefighter Thomas Silva. Also on that call from the north end, they helped assist in the actions that morning. Our firefighters Kevin English, who I believe stepped up because of Chase crying there, and then also firefighter Alex Palau. Job well done, gentlemen. Job well done.
Certificate of Commendation, Town of Seekonk, Massachusetts, in recognition of Lieutenant Bradford, Firefighter Saracen, Firefighter Silva, Firefighter Cronin, Firefighter Olson, Firefighter, I'm going to butcher this, and I'm sorry, Imbalazzo, and Firefighter English. Life-saving actions on the morning of Sunday, April 21st, 2024, wherein they responded to a medical emergency. Chief Whalen asked that they be recognized for their commendable actions in providing medical treatment to the victim. Training and experience led them to provide advanced life support. The actions they provided on scene were instrumental and changed the outcome of this incident. For their care, bravery, and professionalism, the Seekonk Select Board hereby recognizes and thanks, hold on, Lieutenant Bradford, firefighter Saracen, firefighter Silva, firefighter Cronin, firefighter Olson, firefighter and Palazzo, thank you, and firefighter English for their dedication to the town of Seekonk and extends its sincere appreciation.
Madam Chair, if I may, not on the agenda, but before my officers leave the room, it is identified as EMS week around the world. It's the 50th anniversary. So I'd like to just present the department with a EMS unit citation in recognition of EMS week. Day in and day out, the members of our organization respond to approximately 4,000 calls for service every year, with about 72 to 80% equating to be EMS related. They do an excellent job for the community and the visitors of our town. And I would like to just present through Lieutenant Timothy Goodwin, the EMS director, the EMS unit citation for recognition of all the hard work that our men and women do daily.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Okay, Chief. Promotion of firefighter Kevin English to the position of lieutenant. Did he make it back in?
I think so. I think that's why they.
Well, oh, there we go.
I'll make this easy for the board, but on to say twice in a decent time. It was identified through the collective bargaining agreement, section 6, article 1, a promotional exam needed to be held because we have vacancies. Through that process, there was a competitive written exam, an assessment of education criteria, as well as certifications and trainings obtained through the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy. Following that process, all candidates were then put before an oral board and an interview panel, and they were ranked accordingly through a matrix. Identified on that intense promotional exam is Kevin English. He ranked number 2 on that promotional exam. So I come before you tonight after all that being said to identify firefighter Kevin English. He's been a member of our Seekonk Fire Department for the past 8 years. He's currently a member of the Bristol County Technical Rescue Team, which is a conglomerate of firefighters across all communities in the Commonwealth of Bristol County, Massachusetts, which is about 50 members. So pretty prestigious technical rescue team that he's part of. Firefighter English is also a former U.S. Army medic sergeant who was stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia, where he received multiple awards and commendations. He's earned his bachelor's degree in operations management at the University of Massachusetts and successfully obtained his master's degree in emergency management through Boston University. So through you this evening, Mr. Kadim, make the recommendation that we promote firefighter Kevin English to the rank of lieutenant Seekonk Fire.
Madam Chair, my recommendation is as stated by Chief Will.
You have a motion?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
To assist with the badge fitting is the town clerk and also his wife, Stephanie, and their son, Chase. At this time, if you want some members of the family, if they have, want to take pictures?
Yep.
Members of the family want pictures of the ceremony, you can come up and go through. Find their spot, you want to take pictures? Yeah.
do solemnly swear
that I will bear faith and true allegiance
that I bear faith and true allegiance
to the United States of America,
to the United States of America,
the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
and will support the Constitution thereof, so help me God.
and will support the Constitution thereof, help me God.
I, Kevin English,
I, Kevin English,
do solemnly swear
do sincerely swear
and affirm that I will
and affirm that I will
faithfully and impartially discharge
faithfully and impartially discharge
all duties incumbent upon me
and perform all duties incumbently upon me
as fire lieutenant
as fire lieutenant
of the town of Seekonk,
for the town of Seekonk,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
I will obey and be bound
I will obey and be bound
by department rules and regulations,
by department rules and regulations,
policies and procedures,
policies and procedures,
as are
as are
or may be established
or may be established, so help me God.
Chief, do we have an effective date of this?
Like immediately.
Today?
May 26th.
Okay, that's fine. May 22nd, that's fine. Yay! Right on cue.
Attention. Order arms. Lower arms. Hands.
And Chair, Select Board members, Mr. Kadim, I come before you again with the same vetted process performed by Firefighter Alex and Palazzo as outlined in the collective bargaining agreement, section 6, article 1, or article 6, section 1. Alex and Palazzo has been a member of the Seekonk Fire Department also for the last 8 years. And before coming to the Seekonk Fire Department, Firefighter Palazzo served as a volunteer firefighter on the town of Rehoboth's Fire Department and also the Lee Fire Department in New Hampshire. Firefighter Palazzo has earned his bachelor's degree in communication at the University of New Hampshire, and he also has obtained, just like now Lieutenant English, multiple certificates and degrees and trainings that will be beneficial to the organization. So tonight, through you, Mr. Kadim, effective May 22nd, I'd like to make the recommendation to promote Firefighter Alex and Palazzo to the position of lieutenant within the Seekonk Fire Department.
My recommendation is as stated by Chief Will.
Thank you. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Mike, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Congratulations.
So also this evening, to assist with the pinning of his badge is his wife Meg, and son Colin was supposed to be here. I think he's here somewhere. But Colin-
I, Alex Palazzo,
Do solemnly swear and I will bear faith
do solemnly swear and I will bear faith
and true allegiance to the United States of America
and to allegiance to the United States of America
and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
and the Commonwealth of
and
Massachusetts,
support the Constitution thereof.
support the Constitution thereof, so help me God.
I am Flavia,
I, Alex Palazzo,
Glad I'm not the only one, Christian.
do solemnly swear,
sincerely swear and affirm
sincerely swear and affirm
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all duties
discharge and perform all duties
incumbent on fire lieutenant
incumbent upon me as fire lieutenant
by the town
for the town of Seekonk. My affiliation.
I will be by
And
department rules and regulations,
rules and regulations,
policies and procedures,
policies and procedures
are
that are
or may be established.
or may be established. So help me God.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank you.
Company, attention. Order arms. Lower arms. Ready?
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Thank you. And at the end of that, you know how to pronounce the name, Palazzo. There we go. That's too many extra letters in there. Consider the conditional offer of employment to Jeremy.
Tivitat.
We stop with these names. What is it already?
Tivitat.
Tivitat, for the position of IT specialist analyst.
Madam Chairwoman, Jeremy was interviewed on May 2nd by myself, Jennifer Ago, and Paul Arkin. I think I butchered his last name, but Paul is the technology director for the city of Taunton. He had agreed to come over and be part of our interview panel. Jeremy has a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity from Champlain College. Although this is Jeremy's first job in the IT field, we feel that it will be advantageous for the town as we can shape his development. Jeremy was friendly, professional, and eager throughout his interview. Jeremy stood out as a candidate due to his knowledge of the field and his proactive approach to understanding the town's IT system. He is also committed to staying current with new IT developments. The finance director's input was considered during the evaluation of candidates for this position as well. So in conclusion, in conjunction with the finance director and the Taunton technology director, I feel that Jeremy would be a valuable contribution to the town of Seekonk. So it would be my recommendation that we appoint Jeremy to the position of IT specialist analyst.
Do we have a motion?
Yeah.
So moved.
Wait, he's got a,
We have one.
this one.
Welcome. Make a motion, move that the Board of Selectmen appoint Jeremy Tivitat to the position of IT specialist, subject to and conditioned upon his successful passage has determined by the town administrator of a pre-employment background inquiry check, physical examination, drug screening, and completion of all pre-employment paperwork.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? In favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Okay. Recognition of National Public Works Week. Do we have anybody here from Public Works? Hey, come on down, guys. I know you, the director can't be here tonight. He told me that. So you get to represent the department. Thank you. Proclamation, Town of Seekonk, Massachusetts, in recognition of Public Works Appreciation Week. Whereas the American Public Works Association has proclaimed May 19th through May 22nd, 25th, 2024 as Public Works Appreciation Week, and whereas the 64th Annual National Public Works Week theme, Advancing Quality of Life for All, is a tribute to the Public Works employees who have made a commitment to our community to improve our comfort, quality of life, and well-being. And whereas the services provided by the Seekonk Public Works Department are an integral part of residents' everyday lives. The town's infrastructure, facilities, and services cannot be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our town's streets and sidewalks. The DPW is conscientious and diligent regarding snow removal, stormwater management, public buildings, landscaping, trails, and fields maintenance. And now therefore be it resolved that the town administrator and select board hereby proclaim the week of May 19th through May 25th, 2024 as Public Works Appreciation Week. We take this opportunity to thank the Seekonk Department of Public Works for the essential role they play in our town and encourage our community to recognize all of our Department of Public Works professionals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Here, you get to bring this back with you. Please. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, community speaks. Anybody for community speaks tonight? Step right up. You okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Hope, right ahead.
Code 20 Bradley Street. This is in reference to an item in general business. I think it's L.
Yeah.
To the Seekonk Select Board, there are several complaints against TV9 that have been filed with the Massachusetts Commission of Discrimination, alleging discrimination and retaliation based upon gender. That is currently under investigation, along with multiple other complaints that were filed with other government oversight agencies, which are also being investigated. The illegitimately formed Seekonk Cable Access TV9 Board of Directors has impermissibly blacked out and discontinued the paid access stations. And TV9 is also not reporting town government meetings in violation of the executed Comcast agreement. This puts Seekonk in jeopardy of losing both local cable access stations and the Comcast funding, which is a grave disservice to the paying subscribers of this town. This illegitimate TV9 Board of Directors has only showed complete disrespect and utter contempt for the Seekonk cable subscribers whose fees pay for paid access programming. We ask the Select Board to vote to rescind the designation of Seekonk Cable Access as the cable access provider for the town and restore the TV9 studio as it has always operated in the past. A board that was non-political, that served our subscribers with new programming and created relationships with the public, the educational, and government departments. There are people who spend countless time and effort building TV9 to provide programming and information to the town. Their efforts should not be wasted or forgotten. So bring back the TV9 we have enjoyed for close to 40 years. Respectfully submitted, Hope, Kristen Montgomery, and Denise Pollard. Thank you.
Thank you. Hold on, it's my turn to check. Oh. Is there anyone else here for community speaks? Seeing no one, we'll move on. General business, public hearing. Consider the transfer of all alcohol on premises liquor license from Luxury Box Inc. doing business as the Luxury Box to McCaw Country Club Inc. Incorporated, located at 350 Fall River Avenue, Seekonk, Mass. Murilo Souza Silva, manager. Can I have a motion to go into public hearing 6:35?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Justin Sullivan, Michael Healy, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, sir.
All right, so,
My name is Murillo Silva Jr., here accompanied by Murillo Silva Sr. This time around.
Oh.
And here representing McCall Country Club, Murillo Sr. as the president and manager of said club. So yeah, we are here looking to transfer the previously held all alcohol liquor license at the same premise address over from the previous business over to our newly formed club and business.
Okay, seeing as this is a public hearing, is there anyone else here to speak in favor of this transfer of liquor license? Anyone here to speak in opposition of the transfer of the liquor license? I see nobody at this time. Does the board have any questions?
Madam Chair, the only question I have,
Go ahead.
page 5, it says application for a transfer of license. Halfway down, source of financing, I'm not sure if it makes a big deal or not, but I believe the owner that's currently owning the property, that's a misspelling of his last name.
Yep.
Page 5.
Oh.
Page 5. Name of lender, I believe that's a misspelling of his last name. I don't know if that makes any difference.
We'll get it corrected.
Because it's a simple typo, I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, but that's been recognized and we will correct the spelling before anything.
Other than that, I have nothing.
Mrs. Posey, are you good? Good. Mr. Zora?
I'm good.
You said you're upset. Okay. So do we close the public hearing and then take a
Yeah.
vote on it?
Yep.
Okay. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
So moved.
Justin
Second.
Sullivan, Mike? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Now can I have another motion to transfer? To transfer the all liquor on premises liquor license.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of the all alcohol on-premise liquor license from Luxury Box Inc., DBA, to Luxury Box to McCall Country Club Inc., located at 350 Fall River Ave, Seekonk, Massachusetts, with Murillo Souza Silva as manager.
Second.
Okay, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Thank you, sir, very much. Good luck. Then we have another public hearing to consider the request for a new wine and liquor on-premise liquor license for A&R Family Entertainment doing business as Smash and Splash to be located at 1275 Fall River Avenue, Seekonk, Mass. Elvis as Kona manager. You're Elvis? Okay, just hold on a second, okay? Can I get a motion to enter into this public hearing at 6:38?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing none, unanimous. Sir, can you just state your name? Okay, and you are the manager here? Is there anything, what is this? This is a new wine or? Okay. Is there anyone here to talk in favor of this liquor license? Besides yourself, sir, I know. You're here today. Oh, okay, okay. But sometimes if there's other people that you've noticed, anybody here in opposition of this liquor license? I see nobody. Members of the board? What's the following, you like to go first?
After, Madam Chair, after I went through the packet, I did not see a tip certificate in here. Or actually being able to serve alcohol. Unless he's currently been certified. I don't see it in the packet anywhere unless I'm missing it.
You haven't received your tip certification yet, correct? It's alcohol servers license or alcohol servers.
You haven't received it or gone for it?
But
Oh, yeah, it's on board till we get it.
Because we're just serving beer and wine as well as individual package, we're not mixing this. So.
You'll need to receive it anyway, so if this was to be approved, it would be something that would be a condition upon approval. So that'll be a requirement, but, I guess, can you just talk to us a little bit about the license itself? It's beer, wine, no mixed drinks.
So we're gonna be serving beer and wine, right? And, it's not mostly like people gonna come, but it's mostly like, it's online. So booking system. Yeah, it's a booking system. The parties are not there for longer than a half hour. It's all booked online, it's not like walk-in service. And we're just serving beer and wine, because we have axe throwing in the place. And it's literally just so that they're there for like an hour, just something for them to have. We're gonna be serving potato chips, pretzels, popcorn as well, to go with the liquor, so.
Gotcha.
So people book their time
Online.
online to go down to your place, spend half hour, whatever it is there, to smash and splash. I've never been to a place like this, so that's why.
So what we do is we have 3 different activities.
Right, I saw that. I saw the outline for
Yeah,
everything.
we're getting that's wrong.
Right.
And what we do is we have paint splatter, which is all age.
Right.
Type of activity where you go in, for the rage roll, it's from 15 and up. And it's where they go in and they just break stuff and give them bottles. So they break it. And
Right.
then it's axe throwing, it's a target axe throwing where it's like.
Does that have an age limit?
Yeah.
15 and older?
But you don't have a conventional bar on location. It's just good to be, this is just so you could serve drinks to the patrons that are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be a refrigerator with beer and packaged wine, right? So it's not beer about that.
So not pouring anything out of the tap or into bottles or glasses, it's all cans or.
Yeah, it's gonna be just cans and like prepackaged wines that come out.
Yeah.
Mr. Kadim, how long do these liquor licenses last?
They get renewed every year.
Every year they have to renew? Okay, so I'm gonna put this out there. I've received calls from people in town not wanting us to approve this liquor license. This is because maybe like me, they've never gone to a place like this before. They're not too certain how axe throwing, smashing, and all that and liquor go together. So having said that, just be aware that the liquor license, if it's passed tonight, is not going to go into effect until you get your tip certification. Okay? And
Just a comment on people calling in that they are currently about 20 other exploring places in the state of Massachusetts, and they pretty much all of them serve beer and wine as well.
but let me tell you, you're coming into beautiful downtown Seekonk. And our Seekonk residents are very picky about what goes on in their town, including myself, since I've been here my whole life. So being that we get information from police and fire departments and DPW and all that, I just want you to remember that people are watching you. And these liquor licenses are renewed every year, but can be rescinded anytime during the year should incidents of grievous accountability come about. And that is what I want you to know. And the people that are very opposed to this, I'm letting them know that we're putting you on notice so that we're all on the same page here. Yes, would you like to say something? No. You're good? Mrs. Zara?
Having been to an excellent place in Rhode Island and in Massachusetts, aware of it, walked in, they did serve alcohol, they provided potato chips and pretzels, with the thing. It was very well ran and made sure you were not intoxicated going into the axe throwing. They were around us all the time monitoring. They were very good, so
Yeah, we have.
You guys
that-
do the same model, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's the same
Everything with
thing.
one monitor, because it is a real hack.
So for every extra station, it's gonna be an attendant, it's gonna be there with the party, attendants,
Yeah.
making sure that they follow the rules and whatever. And that's the same for the, smash room as well. We have an attendant, we have videos, we have cameras to make sure that everybody's following the rules. Currently, because we have a location in Warwick and, we haven't had a problem. For 2 years there.
Given the nature of what you guys are doing, the amount of liability, or potential liability that sits there, and then you add beer and wine into it, obviously it's incumbent upon you guys to maintain it, so I, for one, don't have an issue with it, because understanding a lot rides on this, right? And you guys maintain the liability, right? So, so I think, provided that there are no issues, I wouldn't have any future issues, but, yeah, that's.
Mr. Healy,
I don't have any.
you good? Okay. Seeing, give me a minute. Seeing there's no one else to speak on this public hearing, motion to close the public hearing at 6:46.
So moved.
Second.
You, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, can I have a motion to approve? Disapprove, whatever you want to do?
I'll make a motion to approve the request for the new wine and malt on-premise liquor license for A&R Family Entertainment DBA Smash and Splash to be located at 1275 Fall River Ave in Seekonk with Elvis Estona, manager, with condition upon the conditional approval upon receiving the tip certification in order to receive the license.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous.
Congratulations, guys.
Good luck. Don't forget about the tip certification. Okay, license hearing, consideration of the request for a one-day special event permit for CC Leisure LLC to hold Big Bounce America, a family-focused inflatable event at the Seekonk Speedway, 1782 Florida Avenue, Seekonk, to be held on Saturday, June 22nd, June 23rd, and June 28th, through June 30th, 2024. Hi. How are you? What's your name, sir? And you,
Representing Big Bounce America. I'm with Seekonk Speedway. I'm with them on this one. I believe Ms. Abby Hanson flew out from California and met with each one of the departments one-on-one. And she agreed to all the different stipulations that were laid out to her. As far as police, medics, food vendors, fire, fencing, and all the additional stuff that she talked to everybody about. So I'm here to answer any additional questions that you may have. But I believe it's fun to attest that everything was on the up and up and across the board with her.
okay, this says, so you're here representing the Speedway, basically. So the Speedway is okay with it?
Yeah.
Obviously, you won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the stipulations from the Board of Health was, they're working with the applicant to permit temporary food.
Right.
For
Any food
food,
trucks that they have, with all the certification with the Board of Health, just like they do that with run the Speedway.
right. The fire department said approved based on outlined requirements with vendor.
Yep, two detailed fire, 4 detailed police,
Yeah, I saw that.
ambulance. And then they're gonna work with our ambulance company for the ambulance service.
Your company for the ambulance service?
Correct.
Chief, you know that, Chief Whalen?
Yes, we had the conversation with Abby. I identified that I didn't want special events to impact our community services. To do due diligence, we did reach out as a staff team. We contacted all the all the predecessors to our event. We had a conversation with all the public safety officials there, identified what potential needs may be for emergency medical services. And they did put the stipulation on one standby ambulance to be on scene.
Okay, great, thank you, Chief. Okay, the question I have is, a 1-day special event permit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So how's that?
So
It's 5 days, it's not a 1-day special permit, it's a
We-
5-day special
we
permit.
don't have 5-day permits, so.
5 1 days.
Yeah.
Does she need to submit 5 one-day applications? I'm sure she will.
It's just,
It's just the title of the permit.
yeah, it's called a special event. We have the hours here, Friday from 1 to 9, Saturday 9 to 9, 9 AM to 9 PM, and Sundays 9 AM to 6 PM. Chief, are you leaning like that because you want to say something?
No.
Okay.
I want to lose my place again.
There's four different age groups, and they do it by stages, so they'll have toddlers have one session, then they'll have bigger kids, which they deem from 15 and under, and they'll have older kids, which are 16 to adult, and then they have one adult section on, I think it's Friday night. So they kind of stage everybody in, so it's a constant flow of, people
Mhm.
instead of one massive audience at one time.
Oh, I get it.
So it's not a big impact, like the Speedway will be races on what's going on. It'll be a little bit of a crossover, but not much.
Have you done this before?
We've done similar events like this, but not this particular one. We've done 5K races that have involved inflatables, but we haven't done this particular event yet.
It's pretty organized. You have to go online, pre-register for your age group and this and that. I looked into it for my kids. It's really
It's
organized.
a very popular event. This is the world's biggest bounce house. I see him at the Sullivan, it's smiling, like he wants to get his socks on and get in there.
I'll bring it up.
I guess I must be missing out on something. I don't think so, but you know,
You can find out if you don't let shit you want.
I'd probably be fitting better in the kids section, but that's okay. Do we have anything else? Boy? Nothing. Everybody good? Okay, give me a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 1-day special event permit for CC Ranger LLC to hold a Big Bounce America family-focused inflatable events at the Seekonk Speedway, 1782 Fall River Ave, to be held on Saturday, June 22nd, 23rd, 2024, and June 28th through the 30th, 2024.
Second, please.
Second.
Mr. Zara will give you that one. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you.
I'm on the next one.
Oh, you're on the next one too? Okay. Consider the approval of 2024 Seekonk Speedway rules and regulations. This where you want to talk, chief? No.
We have,
You're around here for a reason.
we have,
We have the Speedway already, absolutely.
there's no changes or anything like that to the 2023 to 2024.
And everybody's happy with this? Chief Whalen? You good? Okay, well, look at that. Okay. Members, anybody get any questions? Everybody good? Everybody good? Give me a motion.
Make a motion to approve the 2024 Seekonk Speedway rules and regulations as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you.
Good, thank you very much. Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you. You too. Consider the appointment of Brittany Farrier, the Great Attleboro Taunton Regional Transit Authority Representative.
So move.
Second.
I'd just like to let everybody know that I talked to Mrs. Farrier and she said she was okay with this, but she wasn't gonna come down and visit us tonight. Like, told her she didn't have to. That's it. There you go. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Great. Consider the reappointment of David Cabral to Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District, known as SERPED, Joint Transportation Planning Group.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That'll teach him for not showing up at the meeting. Can we appoint him to anything else, Mr. Kadim?
No.
Oh, wait a minute, it's your turn. No. Consider the appointment of James Halpin as alternate to the Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District, known as SERPED, Joint Transportation Planning Group.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
You should have left early. Unanimous. Consider the appointment of a Board of Select member to the Bristol County Advisory Board. Let's consider, gentlemen. Oh, and Mrs. Posey. Sorry. Okay, isn't that what I'm on?
I think we should, I make a motion to keep, Selectwoman Posey as the member.
I'll second that if she wants it.
I haven't done anything with your phone, did
Not yet. It's coming.
It's the easiest word to get around here.
Okay, well, we can't guarantee it's gonna stay that way. Okay, all in favor? Oh, unanimous. Thank you. Mrs. Posey for volunteering. Consider the appointment of Sean Kadim as the Board of Selectmen representative for Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District, known as SERPED. Would you like to say something before we make a motion, Mr. Kadim?
No, so moved, second.
Oh, hold on.
No, I was gonna say no.
It was too late. Justin Sullivan made the motion, Mike Delaney, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. You have no choice.
You're welcome, Mr. Dean.
Oh, thank you.
Just
Thanks for
Congratulations.
stepping up.
discussion of the traffic control box art contest.
I'll do my best to walk through this, try not to talk too much. From our last meeting, we had approved going forward, and I had said I would put together the flyer and various documentation. Well, you guys should have a pack in your pocket. I made the flyer fairly simple. I just kind of went with blue for Seekonk. I did have some questions as for a few items that are in here to finalize it. First off, the dollar amount, I know we discussed last time, various numbers. I think 500 was what we had settled on. I just want to confirm that that was the number we want to go with. And if we're calling it a prize or a stipend. And how do we want to provide that prize / stipend? All up front, all at the end when it's completed, or half up front, half at the end?
Madam Chair, I think the amount we agreed to was around $500.
Yeah.
I have no issue, once they're awarded, if they win the contest, giving them half up front, they have to buy supplies, so they
Yeah.
get paid, once upon completion, we give them the.
I believe that's how I wrote it up, but I wanted to confirm that nobody had any.
I think that was the
objections to that.
understanding, so.
Does anybody have an issue with both of those things? No? Okay. Moving on.
We okay leaving it as a prize? Or
What do you,
how do we word that?
I think Friday.
Prize is fine?
Yeah, I think it's probably the best way to write it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Maybe a
that.
track monkey.
All right, the only other thing really that I had questions on was the exact dates. I had proposed last time we do it through the month of June, opening up for the entire month of June. And then, we can give July to, put up for, I did speak with, Ms. Days, she agreed that we could put it up online for voting. I think we as a board should review them first to make sure they're appropriate. There's nothing on it that shouldn't be on there before we put them up for voting. So I think we could, I think there's a meeting in July, beginning of July, we could review them then and say yay or nay to any of them. And then after that, we can have put it up and get started
And
online
do it to
voting
the end.
until to the end of July. And then whoever the winner is, they have August and September to get the paint.
Okay, and there's something in here that says if it's not complete,
They don't get the rest of the money.
well, I know that,
Um,
but we're giving them 2 months to paint it and
Yeah.
do what needs to be done.
the completion August, during the month of August, September, completion by Sunday, September 20th. I could get painted over if it's not completed. I did put in here that, there's no guarantee that the painting will stay or how long the duration will last, so.
But the proposed duration is 2 years.
Yeah, I figured
So,
maybe
like,
2
do
years
it-
and then maybe 2 years when I have another, if it works out well, we have another one, get another design.
That's a good idea.
Obviously, if anything has to happen to the box, it has to be replaced, repaired, whatever, there's no
Yeah.
guarantee that it's gonna last that long.
Right. Right. Yeah, and if anything
Yep.
comes of it. It has to be fixed or whatever. I get it.
The only thing I did fail to put in here that I had wanted to add was, I had said no gluing, nothing to be stuck on the box. But I didn't know if you wanted to say no words. If you wanted to just be like, I don't know, do we want to limit it to say no words on the box other than the person's signature? If you want to be able to have people that put sayings on it, I mean, does anybody?
Yeah, but you never know, somebody might want to put Seekonk on there.
Right.
You know.
That's what you have, but
So I think it's sweet.
Well, we've already covered the offensive and
true.
that type of stuff. We wouldn't
Okay.
We wouldn't allow that anyway. That wouldn't go any further than a piece of paper, so
Okay.
we can eliminate that. But, the picture has to be applied as approved.
As approved, yeah. That does say that.
So,
Yeah. Has to be as approved, and it's gonna be painted by the artist who owns it. Anybody want to change the color? Do you want to keep it blue? Do you want to throw reds and yellows or oranges or anything in there? Just leave the flyer the way it is.
I think it was.
I'm good. I go with the flyer. Yeah. And we're gonna post that anyway, right? Anybody have any kind of changes or suggestions or anything, or we're all good? When you said you already spoke to Mrs. Days, so.
Yep, she even threw out a, coming soon. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she already made a page, so that's what this URL is. It's actually, page is already there.
Can we, is there any possibility we can get through the Seekonk?
Yep. Contact us.
What is,
Get the flyer.
June is done, July probably come around out the 5th, 6th, or 7th, but I think they need to put in
You can do the website.
before the
Yeah,
middle,
it's on the website.
between the,
But it's a
middle.
22nd of May, so we could probably get it in the June edition.
No, I think it's done.
Usually
I think
the
it's-
26th.
Do they?
Yeah, usually it's the 26th or 27th of the month.
You want me to contact them? Do that? What- what-
I'm just saying,
I don't know.
if the flyer's ready, we at least get the admin order, it goes every household in Seekonk.
That's something you can do, John?
Not everyone's going to the website.
Yeah, I threw it as 3 separate documents, so you could just, somebody could just make a flyer.
Go. Yeah. And
And
they
I'm
can
thinking
get,
maybe we could pass it along to like a library and have them, put it up at the library.
yeah, but the form will be online too, but this is
Yeah,
the thing that should go into the reporters, and they can go online to find out all the rest of the stuff.
That won't work.
Designing already, Chris? We haven't even passed it.
No.
what's he saying? He's designing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I-
Designing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the template design
Yeah,
was
the
something
logo.
I found from various different communities.
No, that's
So it keep it consistent, so you kind of put the same thing up, everybody's using the same thing.
Right.
And make it clear that you need to have all 4 sides and the top.
I guess. Is everybody good?
Yeah.
Well, everybody good to move forward? Mr. Kadeem,
Yep.
do you need anything else from us?
I do not.
And you can contact Mr. Posey if there's any questions.
Yep, I do.
Great. Discussion of spring town meeting. Mr. Sullivan, you can go first.
Somebody else can go first.
Well, I said you, so
That's okay. I'm gonna pass it along.
I'm skipping right up you. Mr. Zora.
All right, it's a decent attendance, 160 something people. I did talk to the gentleman after that had questions about the lawnmower and corrected him, saying it was a commercial sized lawnmower. I reached out to the gentleman that was asking Mr. Dean about logos for the new trucks, or for the trucks in general. I believe he did not respond, but I believe he was talking about a lot of the DPW trucks, newer trucks, and some of the older ones with its faded decals, and some of the newer trucks that came in don't have any decals. I'm assuming that's what he was talking about. I was disappointed to see the new truck get shot down, as people should understand that if they were to pass it that night, it's easily a 2-year waiting list before that truck came into the door, as we're still waiting for a truck from a year and a half, 2 years ago. We just, I believe, I don't even think they've received the police cruisers that we ordered a year ago because of the supply chain issues. Mr. Posey, I'm Mr. Posey, Mr. Orban, when he presented the planning board, but I wish he would have had a little bit of help from planning board members. There was a lot for them to explain, a lot for them to do, and it would have been nice to see and have some help and backup to help reassure the residents and explain. Other than that, all in all, it's a good night. Yes, it was a long night. It was a good night, and we figured out the ducks. Ducks.
Only 520 feet.
Yes.
Muscovy duck.
Other than that, that's all I had.
Mr. Healy, anything?
Ms. Posey, you asked Ms. Posey?
No, I want to ask you.
Okay, okay.
You still
For
choking?
once, we didn't have to wait, for once, we didn't have to wait for a quorum, which led to halfway decent attendance, but still, we're talking 160 people out of 15,000 people living in town. To vote on a $72 million budget seems a little short, but they'll have plenty to say on Facebook, I'm sure. I think we, as a board, really need to pay attention to the message that was sent by the townspeople during that meeting. Mr. Zorich just gave an example of it, not to buy a new dump truck. To look at all the zoning bylaws that were presented and the reasons why they were presented, every single one was shut down. They're sending a message they don't want Seekonk to change. Unfortunately, some of these changes were, they're sent down by the state, and Mr. Alden was just up there being the message carrier, in my opinion. But maybe people weren't informed, maybe they didn't understand, maybe they just don't really understand the implications of what possibly is going to happen. But if we start to lose state aid because of it, I hope those same people understand the reason why things will happen in the future. Because if we don't get that state money, there's going to be an impact across the board, and that's unfortunate. But I think that we, as a board, need to really pay attention to the message that's being sent by what's going on. And maybe it's our approach, maybe it's the way we're doing things. I'm not really sure, but there's a message being sent because you have town meeting, you have the recent library vote that's been shot down 3 times, you have the town of Seekonk vote down the Tri-County project. So I don't think the appetite's out there for a lot of things right now. I just don't know how that's going to change. The only other thing that I have, there were 2 articles on the warrant. Both of them had to do with the schools, and this board was supposed to make a recommendation at town meeting floor. Luckily, the first one, the town moderator didn't pick up on it, didn't ask us about, but he asked us about the second one. And me personally sitting there at the head of the table, representing the town and the leadership of the town, to look up and down the table and not have a recommendation, and then make one that we didn't even have a chance to discuss or vote on, I don't think it's right. I think it's just a bad example on behalf of this board. Those 2 articles should have been discussed. I won't even get into Article 16 with Muscovy ducks. I think we failed there also because we had no information to answer any questions on that. But the other 2, I think we should at least have something of a discussion and a vote taken so we can have a legitimate response to something that we should have had on town meeting floor. That's it, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Posey?
The only thing I have a question on was the pole pads. I was kind of disappointed not to see them being used. I'm pretty sure we bought them, right? I know we had approved it back in November or December or something like that, so. And I understood why we didn't have them for the annual town election with the assistant clerk being by herself. But I thought maybe after, 6 months period from that election till now, that we would have at least got them in and started using them before we got into bigger elections. So just, that was
Yeah.
my,
So just on that, so the prior town clerk didn't order them. So it wasn't until the new town clerk came in, she,
oh, yeah, you didn't have
So,
possession of them.
no. So
That
she
was my
tried,
first question.
she tried to get them in. So we now have them. We just couldn't get them trained in time. So I think it was probably like a week before town meeting. So we couldn't get anybody to come down.
Okay, I
So,
thought we had already bought them and was in possession of.
no. So when we followed up, the purchase order was sent, but the order was never placed.
Okay.
So they should be ready for.
For the fall?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I had.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for everybody that came. I enjoyed town meetings to see what everybody has to say about all the articles. And some of the articles that Mr. Healy was talking about, I did ask at one point if somebody wanted to discuss and make a recommendation, and everybody was looking at me like it had 2 heads, so I just moved on. And then skipped over the other one. So there you go. Otherwise, yes, it was a long night. I'm glad it was only 1 and not split into 2. But I'm glad. I like town meetings. I like people to get up and speak up. I did feel bad for Mr. Auburn, and I voiced my objection to the planning board not supporting him to the planning board. So they all know where I stand with that. I skipped over you again. Are you done? You want to say anything? Okay, let's.
Nothing you guys haven't already added.
Okay, so something. So one of the things was, we have those little sheets at our table when we're sitting there about different things. If we have numbers like that ahead of time that we know we're gonna propose or change the numbers, that's something we can give to the town moderator in advance, so he can read off that paper to put this information in. He seemed very confused when we're trying to give him the numbers. It just seemed a little painful.
Yeah, so we will have it for him in the future.
I honestly, if it came from somebody on the town floor, obviously he's not gonna have that ahead of time, but knowing that we are gonna present something would be probably helpful.
You're talking about the budget, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple of numbers and he kept asking the numbers and they went back and forth quite a few times as to what the numbers were.
It was more than that with him during the course of the meeting.
So I just, I mean, just to ease things along a little, it was right there for him to read off. I know we still have to say it.
Yeah.
That's the open and public,
Right.
but if it was just easier for him to read it and type it in.
So I would say though, the only additional I make to what Mr. Healy said previously, it makes, traditionally what we've done is we've scheduled a board meeting prior to town meeting for just brief, quick, half hour, 20-minute, whoever it needs to review these kinds of motions that are to be made on the floor in order to get the ducks in a row, or maybe we didn't have information at the time prior to making a recommendation. But I think we need to make sure that we get back into doing that just as a standard get together right before town meeting. So we didn't do that this time.
We did not, but I did talk to Mr. Kadim about it, and between the two of us, we didn't think it was necessary, so you can blame us.
Yeah, I would say, given the fact that we didn't have recommendations ready, it'd probably be recommended to do that in the future.
Okay. Ms. Kadim, you want to say anything about this?
No, I think it'll be topics we covered.
Okay, moving on. Consider rescinding the designation of Seekonk Cable Access as the cable access provider for the town.
So Madam Chairwoman, my recommendation is that the board rescind the designation of Seekonk Cable Access as the cable access provider for the town of Seekonk. And this is at the request or recommendation, I should say, not the request, the recommendation of town council. This does not prohibit the board from designating Seekonk Cable Access in the future as the cable access provider, if it so chooses.
It says,
So-
go ahead.
Madam Chair,
Yeah,
so
go
this
ahead.
is, this is a recommendation of legal counsel, correct?
Correct.
Has there been any further discussions at all since the last time we discussed this, which I think was a month ago, maybe,
One more.
or more, with the current access board in regards to negotiations at all?
There
There's been no correspondence at all?
there has not been, but there's been correspondence between the attorneys about trying to get back to the table. So
Okay.
there's been conversations about that.
Are they positive, they negative? If you can't speak to it, that's fine. I'm just,
I guess there's not really, I guess they would just open dialogue, so not real discussion.
so if this gets approved tonight, at this point, then we'll have no cable access provider.
Correct.
Correct.
Well, designated cable access provider, right.
Doesn't it?
So that would essentially would fall on the board of selectmen as the provider.
I'm just putting it out there. I mean, I'm extremely disappointed that we're not televising and having things recorded and videoed and the town meeting. Come on, like really? You know how many people cannot make it to town meeting? And that's, the situation is, it's beyond where it needs to be. We need to get this done. We need to get it figured out like sooner than later. And I understand there's steps to go through. It's just, it's really an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with Mr. Healy. I feel the frustration as well. I'm a cable subscriber, I think the fact that I can't go online and look at past meetings is something I frequently did. And, again, like town meeting not being broadcast, I know so many people disappointed in that. And I really want to see negotiations resume.
But to that point, if there's no movement from either side, then there's no negotiations. So, like, the other night, the fund got accepted, so I'm assuming this is like the next step in that process.
Mr. Gadeen, or I guess the other question here is, Madam Chair, we received a letter that from the attorney that a communication was sent at the end of April. Now, I have not received any communication. So, and it sounded like the communication went to the chair. Did you receive the communication from TV9 that, from their attorney? Or do you know what
So
the context of that was?
Yeah, so the board's received all the communications that I've received, so I've been forwarding those over from council.
Okay.
From Seekonk Cable Access Council.
Yeah.
And obviously you've been getting updates based on our council.
Mr. Zora?
So if you go through with this, the asset,
That's the legal complaint that's ongoing, so that we have no determination on that.
So effectively, by rescinding this designation, we're, I guess, reopening the potential for maybe not just the TV9 or Seekonk Cable Access to be a potential provider, but for somebody else who is also interested in porting the town for that right as well.
Or the board of selectmen.
Or the board of selectmen, whatever.
Yep.
I mean, really, at this point, we have until, in my mind, because I think we all want to get the TV turned on quickly, right? But we basically have until fall town meeting. Unless there's a special town meeting in the process.
Guess there's multiple opinions out there.
Sure. So, I mean, there's other ways to do this, I guess, but in theory. But, okay.
Well, I think it would satisfy the entire town, those of us that look at it, that this be, finalized, fixed. We all want that. We all want that for the town. But circumstances have made it now that both sides have attorneys, and now both attorneys are talking to each other, and from my experience, once the attorneys are in effect, the attorneys are in effect. So we either take his advice or don't take his advice. I don't, whatever their attorney says to ours and then gets passed on. I like to, figure this out by tomorrow, but it's gone a lot further than any of us, I think, would even think that it would have gone.
So Madam Chair, if it's approved tonight, this will not stop a potential negotiation session with current. If some type of agreement was made through council.
And town council had shared that to Seekonk Cable Access attorney.
Okay.
If there are no more questions, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to rescind the designation of Seekonk Cable Access as the cable access provider for the town.
Can I get a second, please? I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
I'm going to abstain.
I oppose.
So we have 3 ayes, Mr. Sullivan, myself, and Mr. Zora. Mrs. Posey says nay, right? Nay, and Mr. Healy's going to abstain. For the record. Okay, so the motion passes. Consider the resignation of Abigail LaFleur from the position of full-time communications dispatcher. Do you have anything on that one?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Consider approving the open session minutes from April 24th, 2024. I did see one thing, I did send it out. Did we get a revised edition of these minutes?
I'm not
I don't
sure.
think we did, because I believe in our second session, we had a vote, and that isn't on here.
What was that, Madam Chair?
Okay, hold on page 13. The second, when we had open session, when we went into executive session, then we came back and went into open session. We had a vote And that isn't here. So I would ask,
The adjournment,
motion,
motion to enter open session, motion to close.
right, in between that, we had a motion to approve
We had to approve the contract.
the contract, yep.
After
The
we
fire
completed
chief's
the
contract.
That's correct.
So can I just add that now? I can add that now, right? So I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of April 24th, 2024, with the addition of the vote in the second open session at 8:16 PM to approve the fire chief's contract from April 10th, 2024 to April 10th, 2027. Mr. Healy made the motion to approve. Mr. Sullivan second the motion, and the vote was unanimous. So that was the motion. Somebody may say, so moved.
So moved.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
Mr. Sullivan, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Everybody good? Unanimous. Okay. Discuss other topics not reasonably anticipated by the chair 48 hours before the meeting.
Nothing.
Town administrators report. DPW building committee.
DPW Building Committee, so we received pre-qualifications from the contractors and filed sub bids. Quite a few that came in as a minimum requirement of 3 bids. If not, we'd have to go back out, but there was maybe 2 hand truck loads of submittals that came in that we had to give to the OPM, and I had to assist in putting that into her vehicle, so we stacked it. So that's a good thing. So we'll have the opportunity to go through all the pre-qualification. Anything over $10 million does require a pre-qualification. So they'll work with the OPM and then members of the that were appointed by the building committee to review that, and then interviews will take place for the pre-qualification. So at that point, we'll know what the universe looks like in terms of contractors and file sub bids that have been pre-approved for submitting proposals to this. That's all I have right now on that.
Okay. Board of Selectmen liaison reports and then comments. Accounts payable warrants signed, 540 Arcade Avenue Building Committee report. And we have our occupancy permit as of the 13th. Yay! We passed all our inspections, local, state, the elevator's working, occupancy, and it's occupied. We're having an open house on next Wednesday night. Well, I'm not going to say night because we're having an open house next Wednesday at 540 Arcade Avenue Senior Center so anybody can come in. We're going to be open till 7 p.m. so that if you're working and you want to stop by on your way home from work to see what your money has paid for, please come in. Activities will be going on during open house on Wednesday, and the employees will be there along with myself, and whoever shows up, we give you a tour. You can see everything that's going on. We'll do a ribbon cutting. Not quite sure what time we'll be doing that, but we'll have that. So it's done. It's all done. It's a wonderful thing. Well, it's mostly all done. Guess the committee will stay into effect till the end of the year, and then we'll dissolve it, I guess. That's how it's done. And then after that, it's all for the, so that's great news. TV9 liaison report. We discussed that. You're all set, right? What did you say?
Yep, so just come.
Okay. Bristol County Advisory Board, nothing. The Dearest Farm Committee report.
Mr. Kadim?
So we just finalized the language for the contract with CHA, so we'll be having that presented to the board on the June 5th meeting. If the contract's approved, then the committee will be able to essentially start their kickoff meeting, which will start the process for the design and consulting services for Madeira's Farm.
Excellent.
Seekonk Public Library feasibility study building assessment.
Yep, they have no new updates. They're still waiting on the scheduling for the work on the foundation. So nothing new.
Okay. Comments, Mr. Sullivan?
I'm good.
Mr. Zora?
I'm sure you're gonna touch on the Memorial Day parade, so. Just, Shauna, can you just, going back to about town meeting, can you just make sure DPW vehicles all have lettering on it? It's good for when plowing and all that, and to satisfy the residents.
Well, Madam Chair, if I could, in regards to that, about lettering the trucks and stuff like that, first off, it's not the board of selectmen's job to dictate to a department head whether the truck should be lettered or not, in my opinion. Secondly, there's a number of vehicles that drive through this community that are not town vehicles, that have blue plates on. The city of Attleboro, Swansea, Rehoboth, other communities drive through this town all the time. And actually, we have a bunch of administrators that live in this town, meaning fire department administrators from other communities that live in this community, that drive home an unmarked vehicle with a blue plate on it. So I understand the person's comment that night, but I do not think it's our place to dictate to a department head how they're gonna letter a vehicle, or they're gonna designate a vehicle, or things like that. I think we're overstepping up on that. That's just my opinion, but I also keep in mind, every single morning I drive down to the bakery, I go to the bakery every single morning. There's a white Ford Explorer that goes by with a blue plate on it. It has nothing to do with the town. So there's plenty of vehicles that drive through this community that don't even reside in this community. They don't even work for us. So the gentleman's point was, like, the Board of Selectmen, you took this big secret vote to have everybody undercover now is absolutely ludicrous in my opinion.
So what you're saying is the lettering of a vehicle is not on the top of your let's spend money on this?
Well,
list?
my comment was more or less, we're getting vehicles in, they should be lettered. That, identification for DPW and stuff, unless, if it came as a part of the package, then it should be done.
It's not part of the package, it's separate. Lettering of any vehicle that is bought by the town is separate. They supply the vehicle and the equipment. Anything you're gonna slap on the truck is all extra.
I get fire vehicles, police vehicles there, they don't need lettering, but that was my thing. So to be identified. That's it. I'm overstepping my boundaries because people want to see the town seal or something that's following their road or whatever they're doing to identify Seekonk vehicles, then so be it.
The sample of plowing the road, I don't care whose vehicle it is, plow away. Okay, Mr. Hill, you were next.
I'm good.
Mrs. Posey?
I'll second.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You guys gotta catch up. You ready? Got your popcorn? Because I'm all set.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah. What? Oh, I'm sorry.
You did?
I asked him first,
That's first.
and then I go to the clerk, and then I go, let's not argue about this, okay? I'm next. Okay, I'll let everybody know that, I didn't get a chance to tell you about the music at the high school because I didn't know what was gonna happen when we were at our last meeting. But it was on their sign outside for a few days and I went. And it was magnificent. As a matter of fact, when they played their last song and it was over, I wanted more. They're incredible, incredible. And that is on account of not only the director of bands, Mr. Stanley Snizek, but it's also from all those students. And every time I go, I think the band, the jazz band, what do they call it? Symphonic band, jazz band, concert band, they grow bigger and bigger every year. They're doing a fabulous music program over there. I also had the privilege of going to the graduation of career recruit firefighter class number 320 up in Stowe. The fire chief asked me if I wanted to go, and I said yes. It was up in Stowe. They have their own fire academy. They have firehouses. They have gasoline spots and everything. I wanted to go through the whole thing, but of course I couldn't, but that's okay. I understand. It was good. It was great. I went to that. In one of our last meetings, we accepted a donation for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. So we had a discussion about who owns it, who takes care of it, or whatever. I talked to several people, but I was lucky enough to know to talk to Mr. Drapo, Mark Drapo, about it. That man knows everything. He actually found, I have a copy of the original dedication flyer for the Seekonk Vietnam Veterans Memorial. dedicated on November 11th, 1998. They had a chorus from the high school. They had an invocation, a welcome by the then SVVMF president and founder, which you're gonna ask me what that stands for. The, I don't know what it is. Sorry. I don't think I have that here. Seekonk Vietnam Veterans Memorial. I don't know what the F stands for, members. Anyway, Gil Woodside Jr. was the president and founder. Mr. John Shaw was the chairman at the time of the Seekonk Housing Authority. And there was a presentation, and it was unveiling of the memorial was by the members, the Housing Authority, and the common tenants. As a matter of fact, it was a very rainy and cold day when they went and made this presentation, but a lot of people showed up. They have a lot of special thanks here to a lot of different people that helped the Lions: Jimmy Roy, Bill Delia, Derek Ritchie, Richard Souza, AJM Landscaping, Evergreen Tree. There was a article in the Providence Journal that had pictures of everybody that had went to stand in that horrid weather. And somewhere here I read they put it there because that spot at the time was considered one of the most beautiful areas of Seekonk.
Who's gonna maintain it?
So the money that was offered is now in the hands of, it has been, I talked to the veterans agent today. It's in the, and I know I'm gonna screw this up. It's in the Veterans Memorial Committee, the Seekonk Veterans Memorial Committee. They put the money in there, and the money that is spent on the Vietnam Memorial will come out of that fund through veterans agent.
But we still have no confirmation that we can go on the property and clean it.
Well, if you like to go down there on Saturday, not Saturday, he said tomorrow, so that was yesterday, so he probably did it today. Mr. Drapo was going down there himself to clean it and spruce it up. He found all this, but he could not actually find a piece of paper that says the Seekonk Housing Authority gives the town of Seekonk permission and all that, because I think, Mr. Drapo and the veterans agent had said that the maintenance gentleman over there at the Housing Authority knows about everything they do and actually assists them too. So I guess it's a collaboration between the Housing Authority and, well, Mark Drapo, who is in, he designed the memorial. Yes, yes.
I think if you speak to Mr. Woodside, Gil Woodside, I believe that, the effort that you're looking for is foundation. And I think it's the foundation that was established by Mr. Woodside.
But I don't think that foundation exists anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do know that Mr. Woodside had said that permission was granted to the Veterans Committee to maintain that property. To which I said to him, that's a problem because they don't have a budget. That's where the gift originated in this war.
Well, now, the Vietnam Memorial does have a budget right now, $300. That's put in, 300?
500.
Sorry, $500. And Mr. LaFlamme has that in his line. Yep. No, he does. I talked to him today to make sure, and that way that money, if there's any money that's occurred, that will come out of that money. So that's good. I mean, I'm going to assume because this wasn't a town appointed committee, it was the self-appointed committee that,
And I
I
think
don't know,
the town of Seekonk Housing Authority gave you permission to put it there.
right.
Now the Attleboro Housing Authority over the property.
but they are now hiring somebody to work over there.
And
So
clean
they
the
over there.
memorial.
What?
And clean the memorial? Keep it
No,
clean?
no.
Oh.
That's the maintenance man. They're hiring somebody to work as the director over there. That's what they call the head person. I read that in the paper, that the Attleboro director has gotten money from the state to put somebody over there in Seekonk.
Right.
But as far as any kind of, agreement between even this committee and them, nobody's been able to locate anything yet. Our present veterans agent didn't have anything. And I mean, Mr. Draco found all this, but he couldn't, outside of this, he could not find anything else. And this was also sent to, the veterans agent, so he'll have it for his file.
I would like to see in the future, if we do not come to a solution to that, that monument be moved either to here, where we have space over here at Town Hall, or moved to the actual veteran memorial, I mean, now move this space there. So then we'll have control of it, we can maintain it, it's an absolute disgrace. And I understand that Mr. Draper might have gone there and cleaned it up.
Well, they was, the veterans agent today was speaking, spoken to his council, and they were discussing beautification and maintenance of that memorial. I don't know who or if anybody's actually sat down and seriously discussed moving it or not, but it was pointed out that it was at the time that they wanted it there so everybody could see it as they were going by, that it was considered one of the most beautiful spots in town.
Mhm.
So without any kind of, I don't know who has the authority to move it if it's decided to move. So I think that, I don't know.
Madam Chair,
Yeah,
May I ask you a question, please?
sure.
Future donations for that particular memorial, is it proper to go through the veterans agent as we did this time?
I would say yes, because he's holding the money and he's the veterans
Well, it's
agent
just-
for
yeah,
memorial.
but that- You know, I thought he did all of them. So the veterans committee took care of dressing up
Right,
all the memorials in town.
right. Well, the thing was, there was a specific donation.
Right,
So because it's a specific donation, that money has to be spent on the Vietnam Memorial.
that's right.
But he
I
handles
understand
all
that.
that, so that's gonna go through his department.
But my question is in the future, when we want to give,
Mhm.
we continue to give it in this manner, and we can specify whether it's for the Vietnam veterans or whether it's for ours, or for both.
Yes, it's your money, you
Perfect.
designate it to who you want.
Thank you.
Okay, also, I wanted to remind board and committee members that next month is June, your appointments, some of your appointments are over at the end of the month. And we want to be able to either reappoint or fill the positions that are necessary in the boards and committees. My suggestion would be all chairs of the boards talk to their members, see who's up and make sure that they fill out the form. The form has been mailed to everybody that's up for renewal this year, where it says to sign it, whether you're interested or not interested, and put it in the self-addressed envelope that you were given that even has a stamp on it, and reply whether you want to be reappointed or not. It says your appointment will expire. If it expires June 30th, 2024, you need to be reappointed. So please, everybody's been mailed an envelope with this form in it, and it states right on it to indicate your preference below and include contact information to help keep records up to date. So please do that. And if you haven't received this, then if you think your term is expiring, talk to the chair of your committee. They should have that information, and the chair should make sure that those that need to be appointed have been told to fill that out. We only have 2 more days to fill out your survey for the library, please. It only takes a couple of minutes. I did it myself. Everybody, right? Library, you're on the committee, everybody fill it out. Also, as I said last time, remember that we have a break in our select board meetings. We will be meeting in 2 weeks on June 5th, but then we won't have another meeting till June 26th. So hopefully everybody's rested by then, because that'll be a big one after 3 weeks, right, Mr. Kadim?
Sure.
And board members, please let Mr. Kadim know if you are going to be out of state or out of the country between those dates. So if he needs to talk to somebody, he'll know who not to call. Right, Mr. Kadim? And you can let us know too, because we won't call you. How's that? If you're gonna be away. You can leave your phone at home. How's that? Sounds good to me. Does anybody have anything else? Oh, Memorial Day Parade. That's what I forgot. Memorial Day Parade this Saturday. Setup is at 9 o'clock at the high school. Kickoff for the parade is at 10. Everybody should know whether they're marching in that parade now or not. The Veterans Agent should have it. It's going from the high school to the middle school, and then there's going to be a special presentation at the Veterans Memorial at the library at approximately 11:30. Don't hold us to the times. You never know what's going to happen. But that is the proposed timing. Set up at 9, from 9 on, kickoff at 10, high school to the middle school, and then back to the library for a presentation for 11:30. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, I'd like a motion, please, to enter into the executive session to reconvene an open session for potential contract approval, to conduct strategy sessions with respect to negotiations with Seekonk Firefighters Union, IAFF Local 1931, per Mass General Law, Chapter 38, subsection 20A3, as having a discussion in open session would be detrimental to the litigation or bargaining position of the town. To conduct strategy sessions with respect to negotiations with the deputy fire chief, purge Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, subsection 21A2, as having a discussion in open session, would be detrimental to the litigation or bargaining position of the town, and to consider approving the executive session minutes from April 24th, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second, Michael Healy.
Can I have a roll call vote?
Michael Healy, aye.
Pam Posey, aye.
Justin Sullivan, aye.
Chris Zora, aye.
Michelle Hines, aye. Unanimous. Thank you very much, everyone.
7:42.
7:42.